Well, I've decided to do this video um, because I was with somebody for about 3 years, and I don't know, pretty much the whole relationship, and in about 6 months, 7 months, it was really good. We got along, we did things together. Um, Things were good. Um, I got my kids involved, um, which was, a hard thing to do because if you have your own children, it's hard to date as you get older. I'm almost 33 years old, 2 kids, 6-year-old, 12-year-old. It's hard to bring people in and out of their lives, so you kind of pick wisely on who you want to be involved in your life. Well, you try. I'm not saying that all men are bad, all women are perfect, because nobody's perfect. We're all human. But people need to step back when they get involved with people and realize that when you get with somebody that has children, that it's it's just not right to play with somebody the way that people do. I mean, 19-year-old kids or whatever, that's different. I mean, you're in that mentality level where you're still a kid. You don't know where your life's going, and some of you have children at that time, some of you don't. You're still kind of living your teenage years, and as you get into your 20s, you're still trying to figure out where your life's going. But when you hit your 30s, you've already pretty much established where your life is going, and you have children, you've been married or divorced. In this day and age, things happen so quickly. People don't take into account people's feelings anymore. They just kind of do what they do with no regard to what they're doing. But anyway, back to the story or whatever. I was with somebody for about 3 years. I did a lot for him. This man, I did a lot. I loved him. I would have done anything for him. I gave him just about everything he could possibly think of. He moved into my home. It was excuse upon excuse why he wouldn't help with bills, or it just. And as time progressed, more and more lies came out, and you talk to him, and he would actually be lying to your face and trying to cover up the lie he was telling you with a lie that he was saying right then. It was, and after a while, it was just kind of humorous to listen to. Like, really? Are you really sitting there lying to me and then covering it up with another lie right to my face? And then more and more girls started texting his phone, and he would say he was at work, and he really wasn't. Or he'd say he was staying late at work, but yeah, I'd find out from other people that he wasn't, like his boss. Or he'd be saying, or he lost his money and he couldn't help pay bills, or it was just one thing after another. And in the whole meantime, my kids are love him, and it was really hard. And probably about a week ago, we had split up in December. I threw him out because he was trying to hook up with the bartender down at this nasty bar. And I found out on Christmas Eve he never come home Christmas Eve. I ended up showing up at home 8 o'clock in the morning. The kids had already opened up their gifts, still drunk, with just excuses upon excuses. He fell asleep in his truck, but yet he's drunk, and he wasn't at a bar. Okay, but then a day later, he falls asleep and I see his phone, which was stupid. I shouldn't have got on his phone. But yeah, you're living in my house. You're not paying any bills. You're lying to my face. You're making me feel stupid. And I don't like being made to look like a fool, and people think that I'm a fool for letting him do what he's doing. So I got on his phone and figured out that he was trying to hook up with the bartender. Not only that, Christmas Eve, but he was texting his ex-girlfriend trying to go over to her house too. So I ended up throwing him out. We split up. We were separated for about a couple weeks. And then we started talking again. And we sat down, we had a conversation. Now, neither one of us are perfect, but I never cheated on him. I never did any of that that he was doing. I never disappeared for hours. I have my children 24/7. unless they're in school. My children are always with me. And people that have children know, yeah, 12-year-olds do lie, but 6-year-olds, especially my 6-year-old, will tell you anything that you want to know. Even if you don't want people to know, he will tell you. And I'm sure that you guys know that if you have children, that's how it works. Kids tell everything when they're young. They don't care. They have no censor on their mouth. So anyway, we started talking. We started, hanging out again or whatever. And it just, things got a lot worse. He wasn't living with me and moved back. And he moved in with his mom and I threw him out. He started going to this bar all the time, drinking all the time, doing drugs again. More and more girls were texting his phone and quote unquote, they were just friends. They all were just friends. Yeah, well, just friends. Just friends don't blow your phone up at midnight 20 times in a row because you didn't come over for dinner. That's not friends. So anyway, about a week ago, this has been going on for about, since January. We got back together in January. And I found out, I texted this one girl, and he's telling people we're not together, or just, just the same bullshit. So, about a week ago, he called me and said he was coming over. And at this point, he had been telling me a bunch of stuff, and I had been checking up on a lot of his stories that he didn't even know about, that I knew that he was lying right to my face, that I knew the true story anyway because I had already checked on it. And my main goal was to catch him, right in the act. That was my main, so I had closure so I could justify myself, because he had a way of twisting around like it was my imagination running off on me, like I was seeing things that weren't there and I was hearing things. That's what he was doing. And so anyway, I didn't really totally catch him in the act about a week ago, but like I said, he called me from work, said he was coming over. About 20 minutes later, I just felt really weird because when he called me, it was very quiet in the background and it didn't sound like he was at work. 20 minutes later, I called him, not answering his phone. Called him, not answering his phone. So you know what? I'm like, you know what? I have a feeling and I'm going to go with it. So I loaded my son in the car and we drove down to the bar that he hangs out with. There's this nasty, gross, disgusting bar where all these it's just gross. Let's just put it that way. It's just nasty. And I went down there and sure enough, guess what? His truck's sitting there. So I sit there for a little while. I watch him walk out of the bar with this nasty fat girl, walk over to the gas station, get cigarettes, and walk back into the bar. Well, at this point, my blood is boiling because I don't drink or anything. And so I wait, and then I see the guy's nephew that owns the bar pull up. So I walk up to him and I say, "Look, I know he's in there. You need to send him out because I said I don't want to come in the bar and cause a scene." So he tries to play it off like you don't know him. And I'm like, don't play stupid with me. I'm not stupid, so please don't treat me like I am. So anyway, I stand out there about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I hear his truck beep. And he had tried to sneak out the back door. Well, I went there and confronted him. And I was walking away, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Just don't ever call me again. I'm done. I'm done with your lies. You've lied to me for the last time. I'm over it. So I go to leave, and, every woman can probably justify this with me. There's a lot of things that women can be called. You can call me just about anything in the world, but do not call me a cunt. So I probably could have handled the situation a little bit better, but I punched him in the face. And then I went to walk away again to leave, and he continued to call me like it was my imagination telling me that I was crazy, and like he wasn't standing there at the bar drunk and just walked down to the bar with a girl. Like I was seeing things wrong. I don't even know, but it was crazy. So he proceeded to, so I spit in his face. Well, a person can only take so much, and somebody lying to him and doing the things he was doing when, and I just kept thinking, my kids were drawn back into this again. I was stupid to believe it, and it was my own fault for believing it and doing it again. And so I went to, anyway, the cops ended up coming because I was freaking out in the parking lot, and I ended up leaving. But anyway, he ended up calling me like an hour later telling me, why was I doing this to him? What did he do so wrong? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Are you really kidding me right now? And since then, but we're done now. But the thing is like, the things he called me the other day and was telling me things like, just, he tells me, I went into Tim Hortons and some girl asked me out. Yeah, and she's a red. Why do you continue to want to hurt people? Do you get great satisfaction out of hurting people? Because it just makes no sense to me. So, but anyway, That's why I wanted to make this video, because it's like, if you're going to be with somebody, just be with them. There's no need to treat people that way and make people feel the way that they do. If you choose that you don't want to be with somebody, just tell them. Don't drag them around and hurt them and drag kids into it. You know, it's not right. But anyway, things are looking better. It's been kind of miserable. I know I shouldn't miss him, but I do. But, you know, at this point, when he calls from now on, I think I'm just going to ignore the phone call, not answer it, because it just seems like every time that I answer the phone, it's like more and more lies. It's like it's like cow shit running out of his mouth, cow diarrhea. That's what it sounds like. And he comes up with the most fabricated stories. That, I mean, if you heard some of them and I could record them, you would be like, what is this guy talking about? And it's quite, I don't even know. But anyway, I just wanted to say, you know, just if you're with somebody, treat them with respect, you know, and just, I don't even know, because it was the same thing we fought about all the time, and I kept telling him, if you just stop, things will get better, you know, just stop. And it was just like he didn't have enough respect for me to stop, and he put me to the back burner when all these other girls that he was supposed to be friends with took priority over me. And he wondered why I was bitter and angry, and he got treated the way he did towards the end. Well, how was I supposed to treat you? Like nothing was going on and that everything was fine, you know? He still has no answer for that, but whatever. But I just wanted to say, you know, it might be a dumb video. People might not like it, but I just wanted to say something. So, y'all have a good day, and talk to you later. Bye.